Welcome to today's episode of Salty Sports. I'm Sean Christensen.
And I'm Brian.
The Los Angeles Lakers, have been feeling extra brash lately thanks to their leader and false prophet Kobe Bryant, claiming that even though they're outside of the playoff contention right now, that they will still make the playoffs by the end of the season. There's still something in their way, though.
That's correct, Sean. That obstacle is the indisputably dominant Utah Jazz. Even though the Lakers are 4 losses behind them, they have some kind of false impression that they can catch Utah and beat them to the playoffs. Which is weird because Utah has the tiebreaker. So that means even if Los Angeles catches them and ties their record, the win still goes to Utah and they get the playoff spot. The Lakers do have an easier schedule ahead of them than Utah, but Utah's lead just is so distant, I don't think it's possible.
Amen. Karl Malone has gone public several times now, saying that he is more than willing to be a part-time coach for the big men on the Utah Jazz, Enes Kanter and Derek Favors. The Utah Jazz organization and front office, however, has failed to acknowledge the entire situation, which is kind of strange considering they're trying to make a playoff push and they could always use some outside help from an all-time great from the NBA.
Agreeable.
Yeah.
Well, Golden State Warrior David Lee decided to box out by pushing Indiana Pacer Roy Hibbert square in the chest. After the push, Roy turned around and said, "Hey, I'll have none of that. Let's fight."
You really said that?
Well, he said it via body language, Sean. Anyway, we have a video of the fight right here on Salty Sports. See it with us first.
Foul, and now Hibbert and Lee go after each other.
Roy Hibbert is really causing himself a problem. Now this is getting out of hand because it's going into the stands.
You know, Brian, that kind of reminded me of that first Pokemon movie when they all start fighting and then someone goes in to break it up and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, Ash Ketchum's turned to stone and the rest of the Pokemon have to start crying to bring him back to life.
What did you even think of that?
It was an anonymous tip from a stranger at a local pizza parlor. Speaking of things that make you cry, another Harlem Shake video has come out, this time made by the BYU football team. It's about as predictable as all those videos of the Harlem Shake can be, but if you're into guys with their shirts off and doing weird stuff, I guess it's for you.
I've already seen it 9 times, Sean.
So I've heard, Brian.
Anyway, former BYU player and defensive lineman Ezekiel Ansah, a.k.a. Ziggy, has been impressing a lot of the NFL scouts as of late. He benched 225 pounds 21 times. He also ran the 40 in 4.63 seconds. He was predicted to be number 15 or 17 on the NFL draft in the first round, but since he's been turning so many heads, they think that he might be drafted earlier.
Well, thanks for stopping by for our salty sermon, and God bless America. You're number 1.
Goodbye.